Hey guys, it's Chelsea here. Today I wanted to talk to you about what it takes to see results in the gym. Now, this is a pretty broad topic, and you probably think that I'm going to talk to you about working out and nutrition and the specifics of that, but I'm not going to talk to you about that at all. And the reason why is because that's what people think. People think that in order to be successful, not just in the short term, but in the long term, that they need to do crazy obsessive workouts nonstop and do some really strict diet, and only then will they see the results. That's not true, and it's also really counterintuitive and counterproductive to you seeing results and making fitness a lifestyle. And the reason why is because there's a difference between embodying the identity of somebody who's fit and simply having a goal to get to fitness, right? So anybody can set a goal, and anybody can get excited enough about a goal. Anybody can hold their breath and will their way to hitting that goal, right? And that's why challenges are so popular. But we like to warn people that it's not just enough to set a goal. It's important that you become the person that would ordinarily achieve that goal to begin with, right? So specifically speaking, talking about goals versus identity, let's say your goal is to be more muscular and lift heavier weights. So to do that, you could set these goals of, I want my 1 rep max to be this. And that's great, and you might hit that. But what happens after you hit that? You're gonna celebrate, you're going to revel in the victory of hitting your goal, and then you might relapse. And the reason why is because you didn't take the time and effort to actually make the identity and to cultivate the identity of you being a weight lifter or somebody who is bigger and more muscular. And that, in becoming the identity of the person you want to be, that's what really solidifies the results that you're going to see, not just in the short term, but in the long term. So I wanted to introduce you guys to something really fun here. Well, it's probably fun for me, maybe not so much for you guys, but this is called the Path to Fitness. I went to a gym owner summit a few weeks ago in Portland, and I was talking to a gym owner out of California, and he shared with me this pyramid that he talks to his members about, and it blew me away. If there was anything that I took from those 2 days, it was this. So let's talk about this a little bit. This pyramid is the path to fitness. At the very bottom is showing up. Next, comfort. Next, progress. And lastly, at the top of this pyramid is perform. So I hope you're already starting to think about the fact that if you've been here for 2 days and you're wondering why you don't have muscle ups performing, you've got this whole thing completely twisted. What we need to do is manage our expectations depending on where we are in our journey. So that foundation of showing up is so important. It might look boring, it might seem like not much is happening, but you can't underestimate or undermine what you're doing by simply showing up to the gym. And that's why we tell people when they ask us, how many times a week do I need to come to the gym? As often as possible. 6 times, 7 times a week if you can do it. And we're not telling you to hurt yourself. We're not saying go hard in every single workout for 6 to 7 days a week, because that would be unsafe. However, even just coming to the gym, making it a habit, even if it means getting on the rower or the bike and rowing for 20 minutes, just to shake out any soreness you have, or doing some mobility. Just the act of driving to the gym alone, being in your gym clothes, is enough of a practice that you are building and strengthening this foundation down here. So let's put timelines on it. What showing up is the goal for the first 2 weeks of your journey here. That's it. Just showing up. Soreness and all. Just showing up. Working out maybe, hard 3 times a week, but outside of that, you're still going to do active recovery, mobility. Next up, comfort. So now that you've had this foundation of showing up, now you can start to relax into the environment, into the classes, into the community, right? You can kind of look around and be like, hey, yeah, these people are actually pretty nice. I feel comfortable with these movements. And so that starts to happen about weeks 2 to 4, is developing that comfort in the gym. So again, if you have only been here for a week and you're beating yourself up because you are filled with a sense of dread every time you think about coming to the gym, that's okay. Write it out. Continue to push through, because any transformation is not going to happen overnight, right? You have to get yourself through those first few weeks of discomfort, of change, in order to really solidify these habits. So, comfort. Now the next step is progress. So this is where you get to focus on actually pushing yourself in the gym a little bit more. Showing up is great, but what's the next level? How much further can you take it? This happens during weeks 4 to 12. And this is when you're going to notice that you start looking better, you feel better, you're performing better in the gym. For our challengers, you know, you guys have a 6-week challenge. The 6 weeks fall into here, right? So in looking better, feeling, and performing better, you're going to see those results and the dramatic difference between the first time you weighed in, the first time you did the WOD, and 6 weeks later. And it's all about just seeing that progress for the first time. And then at the top of the pyramid is actually performing. And by performing, I don't mean going to the games. I don't mean being hyper competitive, right? You're here to do you and to live your life and to support what you do outside the gym. So what I mean by perform is just simply raising your goals and your standards in the gym while you're working out, so you can stay engaged and interested in what it is that you're doing in the workout. So showing up is good, but you're already comfortable here. So what's the next thing you can do? Can you start working on pull-ups? Can you raise your knees to chest to maybe a toes to bar? Do it again, you know, working on your double unders. There's always a next level to progress to. And this is the focus here in the perform section, which is 8 weeks and on. So that's when you start to keep score and you start tracking your goals more intently. So I hope that helps you guys in understanding kind of how to manage your expectations during the athlete journey here. It's super important to keep your expectations where they need to be, because too often we are our own worst critic, and we would be the first one to beat ourselves up and tell ourselves, I'm not cut out for this because of XYZ. And that's not the case. More often than not, it's really not the case. There are just certain changes that you have to get used to in being new to this gym, new to CrossFit, whatever the case may be. So you move through this pyramid in a responsible manner.